What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and the one and only James Williams, Dog Waters, and I'm back. And I'm here to cover a little bit of news with you. While my computer's running a little bit slow, I don't know. I might have a little bit too much open for it, so give me a second and move my hands around, let it adjust. Good deal. Guys, I'm going to start on hitting some news topics, and I'm going to bounce around a little bit today, so I need you to stick with me because I'm doing a little bouncing. Now, earlier this week, everyone was all up in arms about the DOD making this change to allow federal agencies to attack U.S. citizens. They say to use lethal force in defense of U.S. citizens. In defense against U.S. citizens. And I was wondering what lethal force looked like. You know, when you think about lethal force, you think, we think, pew, pew, pow, pow, bang, bang, right? What's the first thing coming to your mind? Hey, man, I'm going to use lethal force against this dude. Oh, he going to get shot. Which leads me to Yahya Sinwar, the guy who was taken out that planned the attack on Israel. And I'm sitting there looking at the news surrounding his assassination, because he was a political figure. He was assassinated. He was officially taken out by a government. I'm not going to, he was a Hamas leader. They actually took over a whole nation. So he was assassinated. And I'm sitting there looking at the footage of the assassination, and it dawns on me. If the U.S. government decides it's going to use actual real assets against its people, because that's what it described in the document. It said to use assets. I remember reading that document, that DOD document, and the word asset kept jumping off the page, but I wasn't paying attention to it. And I was like, well, when you think of assets, you think of things that you own, things that you have. And then I said, oh, hell. And then it really dawned on me what kind of tools and assets the Department of Defense has in its toolbox when I saw how this man was hunted down. Now, if you're not following me, you know the U.S. gives arms to Israel. We know that, right? For the most part, when Trump was in there, we were only giving arms to Israel. Then, Biden got in there, and they released, they made that exchange with Brian Grinder, the big tall dude, for the Russian arms dealer. The Russian arms dealer gets out, he gets back into the business. So now they got arms moving all over the place. We find out that Hamas has been getting some stuff, and Iran has been getting some stuff, and specifically some American stuff. All right, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but this is what I want you to see. This is what was done to him, and what terrifies me for us as American citizens. Now, YouTube likes to act funny, because the news people will show you some footage of war, but for whatever reason, they don't want me showing footage of war in no channel. But for the record, YouTube, this is on first post on your platform. This is what they're playing on first post. So I don't understand how I couldn't show it, but I'll play it so you guys can see. First of all, why is my audio coming through my microphone? So they sent a drone in to go get footage of the gentleman, Sinwar. Sinwar's there sitting in a chair. Looks like he's pretty wounded. Looks like the place is bombed out. Bada bing, bada boom. And as I'm watching this footage, it dawns on me. I don't think people understand when the Department of Defense decided that they were going to allow certain federal agencies to have access to tools and weapons and use lethal force, what it actually means. The abundance of resources they have at their disposal. I mean, there's an abundance of resources they have at their disposal. And then this is what got me. So he's sitting in a chair. He's clearly alive. And I want to show you something. The drone comes in, and you notice he has a stick in his hand. And he throws it at the drone. And the drone's going to recognize it as an object flying through the air. Here it comes. Throw it, bro. You're clearly still alive. Here it comes. And he throws it. And it recognizes it. Dodges it. Turns right back to him. And I'm sitting there looking at it saying, well, damn. Well, I'll be damn. Well, damn. The average citizen don't stand a chance. If the DOD gives certain assets to federal agencies, demon-filled federal agencies, on the tail end of this election, it's clear that Donald Trump is winning this election now. If you haven't figured that out yet, and you're a liberal, you might as well start crying today, because you can see, barring your side don't blow up the whole planet, barring they don't turn out the power, Donald Trump done won this election. All right. So, barring they don't shoot his plane out of the sky, he's already won this. Y'all don't stand a chance. When you start looking at the early voting, it's a landslide. So, we going past that point. Now we're on the point of the DOJ deciding that they are going to, because people are going to be violent, which their side is always violent. They're going to allocate resources or assets to contain the violence. If these people actually start to bring these true weapons of war out, man, ain't nothing nobody could do. Nothing nobody could do. And to me, quite frankly, that's terrifying. That's the only reason why I covered the story about this man. I mean, I don't like the fact that Hamas was marching down the street in America. People with Hamas flags at our Capitol, tearing down statues and spray painting things. I don't like it at all. I know we have, the right to protest, the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to break the law and deface things. And I know those people who do it are paid protesters, the same people who were Antifa, the same people who were trying to lead Black Lives Matter. Why those people are not arrested and thrown in cages, I don't know. I don't understand it. I would like to see them be arrested. I'm sorry. I would like to see those people thrown in cages. All right. Next news story that I wanted to cover. Yesterday I was talking about how Kamala Harris just disrespected Catholic people and how Democrats in general despise Catholics, even though Catholics vote for them overwhelmingly. And the U.S. ambassador to the Vatican came out, and she said that it was disrespectful what she did. Vice President Kamala Harris' snub of the Al E. Smith Catholic charity dinner was the umpteenth show of disdain for Catholics. Former ambassador to the Holy See, Castilga Greenwich, writes. Now, Castilga, how the hell you pronounce that name? What really gets me is like the Catholic voting bloc that's elderly, because they only watch MSNBC and CNN and news stations like that. They'll never see what she actually did. They'll never see her make fun of them. They'll never get the opportunity to see the truth. And because they're not like real tech savvy, these things can be hidden from an entire generation of people who spent probably 60, 70 years of their lives being devout Catholics. I mean, extremely devout to their faith. But because the news media lies, those people never see the truth. I mean, they absolutely never see the truth. Now, even the younger generation, when you get people in their 40s and their 50s, you know, they got enough savvy to move around on the internet and see stuff. But elderly people that go to church, I'm talking about the time the elderly people that go to church at 5:30 a.m., then go back at 12, then go back at 6 every day. They're getting misled by the media. Kamala declined the invitation to attend the Al Smith dinner, the first presidential candidate to do so since Walter Mondale in 1984, Gingrich notes. Instead, she sent a pre-recorded message. She found time for an appearance on a vulgar Call Her Daddy podcast, but not for a fundraiser benefiting impoverished children. This is Gingrich talking. A clear sign of her own priorities. Anti-Catholic choices are nothing new for Kamala. And with each day passing, more Americans are reminded of Harris's abysmal record targeting Catholics as California's Attorney General and U.S. Senator and as U.S. Vice President. Harris filed an amicus brief calling on the U.S. Supreme Court to force family-owned Hobby Lobby to violate Christian beliefs and cover the cost of contraception for its employees, Gingrich recalls. I didn't even know this girl did this. I didn't know she did this. Did y'all know she did that? As Senator, Harris grilled Catholic judiciary nominees about their faith. She continues implying that affiliation with the Knights of Columbus, a Catholic charitable organization that included JFK amongst its members, was grounds for disqualification. It is no surprise that Catholic voters in swing states favor Trump over Harris by a full 5 points, Gingrich observes. Just weeks away from the 2024 election, Catholics in two key Midwestern swing states, Michigan and Wisconsin, now favor Trump by double digits, as reported by left-wing Catholic newspaper, the National Catholic Reporter. Wow. Let's see. National Catholic Reporter. Catholic voters favor Trump in most battleground states, according to NCR. Catholic voters in 7 battleground states favor Donald Trump over Kamala Harris by 5 percentage points, but the vice president leads the Republican nominee overwhelmingly among Hispanics and Black Catholics in those swing states, according to new polls conducted by National Catholic Reporter. With just more than 3 weeks to the election, Trump leads Harris 50-45 in the closely watched battleground states, a margin that could be an important factor in the closeness of this contest. Wow. So, we know that polls lie. And I'm happy to see that Catholics have actually come to the understanding that this chick is wicked. Maybe they'll understand that the Pope is that lost his damn mind too. But nonetheless, when you read what they're saying and they try and spin it, and this is a liberal website, and it says Catholic voters in 7 battleground states favor Donald Trump over Kamala Harris by 5 percentage points, but vice president leads the Republican nominee overwhelmingly among Hispanic and Black Catholics in those swing states. When you look at the overall national trend, we know that Donald Trump is eating into, he's really taking a huge chunk out of the Hispanic vote and the Black vote. Hispanics are overwhelmingly Catholic in America, so what they're saying here doesn't make much sense at all. So you can probably just swing the whole Hispanic demographic out of there, and of course it leaves you down to the Negroes again, who are the most brainwashed portion of the population of America. But nonetheless, Black men have abandoned the Democratic Party for the most part. So when you talk about Black Catholics, you're talking about Black women. I mean, let's just be real with you. It's going to be Black women and elderly Black Catholics who don't have access to information. And then this is the next story I wanted to cover for you guys. This one is, I want to speak to the ladies about this one. Ladies, I think it's important that you be aware of what your liberal leanings lead to. And I'm going to say that again. What your liberal leanings leads to. what your LLLT, liberal leanings, lead to. Many of you have leaned so far to the liberal side that you walk sideways. You walk on a 45-degree angle, like you are a part of upside down world or sideways world. Some of you guys just walk at a 90-degree angle. Everybody's walking this way, your body is turned this way and walking this way. Everybody's walking like this, you're walking like this. And again, I've said this 1,000 times. I said, hey, the chivalry in America is what allows you to be liberal. And it's true. What allows a strong, independent woman is the fact that men don't really oppress you. DW, you don't understand the misogynistic masculinity energy of the American man is holding back the woman. Yeah. I disagree. I totally disagree. How many times in the news in America are you seeing stuff like this? Muhammad Noor, convicted of orally a woman to death on a park bench, orally to death. Now, let me paint a picture for you, ladies, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. A park bench, most park benches are outside. And let's discuss the state of a nation where something like this can happen. Man found guilty of rape and manslaughter of a woman he reportedly on a South Hall park bench in London in 2021. 37-year-old Mohammed Noor Idal has been found guilty of blank, killing blank this woman, 37-year-old mother of three, Natalie Shotter, who was found dead on a park bench in London by a passerby in the early morning of 16th of July 2021. We don't know what earlier morning is. We're not sure. DNA was found on the deceased woman's mouth, with CC footage showing him doing this to her repeatedly over 15 minutes. All right. This is what I need you ladies to understand in America. The character of man that you call weak men in America, the character of man that you feel you can that you can just dismiss, that you can make demands of, or well, he needs to make $500,000 before I date him. The only reason why you have that mindset is because this type character of man has not been the norm in America. And I want to be clear with you. Everybody talking about Diddy, right? Even Diddy in his wickedness had enough sense to do his wickedness for the most part behind closed doors, in a closed group, in a closed circle. Now, he's a celebrity, bada bing, bada boom. But when these type of men, like Mr. Noor Mohammed Noor Idal, when your politicians, your left-leaning liberal politicians, let these type of men into the nation, these are the things that happen to you. And it's unfortunate because most strong, independent, liberal women find themselves with weak liberal men. Extremely weak. Tim Waltz weak. Don't know how to load a shotgun weak. Don't know how to throw a punch weak. Don't know how to wield a blade weak. And then that man runs into, even if he's there to protect you, he runs into that demon right there. And he's not prepared to deal with that demon to protect you. He's not willing to chew the side of that demon's face off, to gouge that demon's eyes out, to rip the flesh from his very nose, to win a fight, to defend you. And so your liberal leanings have already allowed, and I want to be clear with you, allowed this type of demonic man into this nation. And then when Kamala Harris is asked about it and says, do you owe an apology to the families of these people? She says, I'm sorry for their loss. I'm so sorry for their loss. And I don't know how else to say this other than, ladies, in many cases, you end up reaping what you sow. You made the bed. Some of you guys are going to lay in that bed. And it's unfortunate, especially if in context of the upcoming election. But it makes all the sense in the world. My body, my choice. In order to break the spell of my body, my choice, of body autonomy, of independence, you have to be proven. It has to be proven to you without a doubt that you're weak. And the way I see it spiritually, that's what's kind of happening. All over the place. You've been told, I'm a strong woman. Women can do anything. It's been this feminist brainwashing for years, to the point where we've gotten to the point where you guys believe the brainwashing. Women can do anything men can do. Women should compete in men's sports. All this other stuff. You've gotten to the point to where you believe that brainwashing has gotten so strong. And I don't think American men have it in them. I don't think we have it in us to do to you what these men will do to you in order to prove the point to you. There's no feminists in Iraq. There's no feminists in Yemen. There's no feminism in any of those places. It don't exist. And I don't want to see it done to you, but you literally inviting it in. You're literally endorsing it, thinking at the end of the day that you're going to be fine. It's kind of like the lady at the grocery store who goes out and assaulted this guy. He was recording this lady. She was arguing with another lady. She runs up to his vehicle. He's like 30 yards away. She runs up to his vehicle and tells him, you're going to turn that camera off. She's a Karen. And to be clear with you, you Karens are the ones that are hardcore damn Democrats. But watch this. She's a Karen. You're going to turn that camera off. You're not going to record me. It's illegal for you to record me. Now, he's on the other side of the parking lot. She traveled damn near 30 yards to come and punch this man. You see her on camera, ball her fist. It's more of a hammer fist than a punch, but it's more of a hammer fist. She balls her fist, and she brings it back to hit him. She swings, bow, hits him. You see the camera wiggle a little bit. Then next thing you know, you see her body fly back. Boom, she hits the floor and starts crying. I'm calling the police. I'm doing this. You hit me. You did this. And in the context of the existing American system, that woman can call the police even though she assaulted him and still be treated in a certain way, which is why she behaves that way. Which is why she can call the police and be like, you hit me, you assaulted me, I'm going to call the police. Same thing in context of domestic violence. I'm going to call the police, I'm going to do this. The system itself protects you. And it prioritizes you. The reason why the system prioritizes you is because in the overall culture of America, you've been prioritized. Your protection has been a priority. So much so that many times you guys take advantage of it. Now watch this. When this invading hordes come in, all throughout the Bible, all throughout history, when hordes of invaders came in and they subdued the strong men, they subdued the men and got victory, there was no protection for you. There's nobody to defend you. You become their concubines. And somebody tries to say, well, DW, man, you tripped out. This is not the old days. The fuck it ain't. It's the same damn thing. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris opened the borders for hordes of these people to come in. All men. Majority men, majority children. You supported it. liberal lady. Oh, I don't like how Trump Harris orange and he says bad things about people. Donald Trump is bad. You supported it. 21 million since they've been in office. 21 million. And that's a low end estimate. What we know for sure is it's been 100-something thousand of them a month flown in and dropped in little rural areas. But imagine an army of 20. Let's not even use the full 21 million. Imagine an army of 15 million men from foreign countries, from foreign cultures, standing outside of your city walls. And this is the craziest thing about America. This is what people don't get. America is a city without walls. I mean, it has cities without walls. When you go back and look at Israel. Israel has walls, it has fences. America is a city, has cities without walls. So imagine you're on top of a building in, let's say downtown Austin. The tallest skyscraper they got in downtown Austin. You're on top of that building, you look out, and there's 15 million men all lined up ready to invade your city. Inside that city, you got, let's just say you got 1 million people. And out of that million, I don't know, let's say 500,000 is men. And out of that 500,000, 200,000 of them is real men that know how to fight, stab, shoot, and kill. The rest of them just liberal, weak men who go along to get along. My wife is the breadwinner. I don't have a problem supporting a strong woman. The point I'm making is this. When all this violence comes, everything goes out the window. And unfortunately, you guys put us in a situation. But at the end of the day, God don't look at you and blame you, he blame us. And that's the honest to God truth. So if you're a liberal woman and you ever happen to come across my video, I need you to understand. I need you to go look and see what's happening to women in London, in Europe, in Germany, in France, in Spain, before you decide you're going to go pull a vote because they told you you should be concerned about your reproductive rights. Just quite frankly, the organs that you use to reproduce, the people that you're letting in, that's just going to violate all of them. And if they take over, oh, no, you're going to have them babies. You're going to have every last one of them babies. Maybe not you. Maybe your granddaughter, your great-granddaughter. Y'all going to have every last one of them babies. You actually voting people in place that, in the long term, destroy every interest of your bloodline. Many of you guys are catless, childless cat women, so you don't give a damn about a bloodline. You don't care about damn about your life that you're living now. But nonetheless, look at your friend who's got kids and show some compassion for her. That's all I got to say about this. Damn it.